Hello and welcome to Mark Your Hear Me Matthew, and we are back with yet another Skylanders Trap Team news update, number 28 this time. We're definitely getting up to that number 30. I'm going to try and crack that before the game comes out. Hopefully we'll get a lot more news to come, even though we've had a ton of news already. Let's jump in straight to this and have a look at some of this. So starting with this picture, which is basically taken from what I believe is when a load of different reporters and all that went to Toys for Bob, and basically they were able to actually play the game and sort of give their own sort of view on it. A few characters were seen. As you can see here, we got Lob-Star. In the background you can see Thumpling and Deja Vu. You can see him on the portal. Again, raising my hopes here of this character being an awesome guy to have in your collection. Actually, on the side as well, you can also see the axe of Bushwhack. Pretty interesting, but can't go ahead without showing some gameplay footage, and you'll be thinking, oh, is this a level? Is this a level? No, this is the new game mode, which I will be talking about near the end of the update. But you can see here he's sort of got sort of electric going round him. His Traptanium looks to be glowing, so maybe that means that one of these is one of the villains that you can capture. Or his attacks are just multiplied and better, but you can see a load of grenades around and an awesome load of gold statues with chompies placed all over them. And you can see there, this is the steaming up one, which I think I was talking about yesterday, and this is actually on Chef Zeppelin. I really like the level name. I believe that's level number 5 or chapter 5. You see a few of the enemies going around there. The troll, you got a chill bill there and a grenade. But this level looks awesome, and you can capture Bombshell and Chef Pepperjack on this one, so just in case you're wondering. You see a few bits and bobs around there just to make it look a bit more like a sort of restaurant sort of thing, with the peppers, the knives in the background, steam and all that. Really interesting, but you can see Lob-Star getting really steamed up, and that's what I was talking about his sort of special power. Moving on, we got Deja Vu here. It's pretty interesting news about Deja Vu, which we'll get to in a second. But Deja Vu here, you can see her in a toy form on the portal. Again, the portal looks awesome. I really like that that sort of cracked glass going around it, sort of as if you just smashed it and it's broken, but it's not. But she looks awesome, and there's a bit of gameplay footage, and you'll be seeing a turret in the background. We'll get into that in a little bit, but there's some I think yesterday I was saying about that little green thing that's sort of green now. Looked almost like an octopus with the little tentacle things on its head, but I'm totally wrong, because it just looks like his hair or something like that. And there's a grenade on the side there. Moving on to something quite special. Have a look at this, a legendary Deja Vu. Now, whether they're going to play the Blades game with this one and also do the adventure pack with her is something to be maybe wanted or not wanted. Maybe if you don't want to get doubles again of the adventure pack, maybe they're going to just do a single pack of her and just do one adventure pack legendary. Who knows? But we can expect some surprises. Just to show you this. There's a picture there of the toy form, a little bit blurry, but looks awesome if it's going to look like that. And then just to confirm this again, also her entrance onto the portal, you can see legendary Deja Vu and how she actually looks, which is pretty accurate to how she looks in this picture. So there we go. Moving on, you'll be seeing on here a few of the other characters. There's and look at this character over here, the TV remote. Wow, this character's new. He's brand new. He's actually one of the question marks. It's the I'm joking. Wow. What if there was a real life element? Oh my god, can you imagine a toaster or a kettle walking around Skylands? That'd be pretty cool. Or a sofa or a TV. Just go through everything. If you were to pick, let me know. What real-life item would you like to see as a character in Skylands? I'd like to know. Let me know down in the comments below. That'd be pretty interesting to find out. But who we're focusing on here is actually Fist Bump, who you can see on the portal, and compared to one of the Trap Masters, so you can see they're probably about half the size, but Fist Bump sort of is a bit higher. Also, you can see over there a comparison with Mini Genie and Bop, I believe that is, the tail of Bop. Against Bushwhack, and you can see they're pretty small. They're pretty small. They're about I'd say a mini is probably about 1.5 of a core character, and then a core character is about 1.5 of a Trap Master. I think that's how it sort of looks from here. Again, here is some more sort of gameplay footage of Fist Bump there with Grenade Troll, and that is Bombshell back there, who is a trappable villain. But you probably have seen him before, possibly with Mastermind when he takes him over. But there is Bombshell there. And this is the level, this is Chef Zeppelin with all the little peppers going around it. Next one, you'll be seeing a big floating Chaos head. We will be getting to that, do not worry. But it's a very interesting game mode which is new. So there's a little bit of a hint. But let's move on. So let's just show you some of the villains and some of the actual like sort of gameplay screenshots. We got Chef Pepperjack here with his oven mitt and his massive sort of, almost as if he's infected his hand and it's sort of blowing up sort of thing. His pepper head, his hat, clothes look awesome, but he does look like an awesome character to have. There's an attack there with a flamethrower. You can also see his whisk in the background and also a backpack full of different peppers, which is pretty awesome. There you go, you can see he throws the peppers. They're sort of like grenades. They sort of just get thrown in the air, drop, sort of roll a little bit, and then blow up. So he'd be pretty interesting to have, possibly with Food Fight maybe. That or Broccoli Guy, I'm guessing they'd make a pretty good pairing. And then there he is using the whisk, about to absolutely mash up that troll there. But yeah, he looks really cool. He just reminds me of a snowman, that middle piece, the middle part of him, because he just looks very rounded and like as if he's got stones in his belly like a snowman. But there we go. Moving on, Hoodsicle. Now this guy is very, very cool. He's like, well, he is obviously undead, but he's got this like huge sort of like ghostly scythe. And he can just sort of swing that round, taking out enemies. But this guy, you can see, he looks really... This is an evil character, you know. This is a really awesome, evil, dark character. There you can see that scythe there. It doesn't actually look like a scythe, but in-game, when you swing it, you can definitely see that it does look like a scythe or a scythe. One of the two. But, yeah, really cool. Can't wait to have him in our trap team. Moving on, there's Bombshell there with the bombs going around him. He just sort of like throws the bombs, and then pretty interestingly, he actually sort of curls up into his own shell and starts spinning around in circles, attacking, sort of like a spin top or something like that. Again, another one who I'm liking the look of. Crosscrow here. Just wanted to show you this off. Basically, he's a water element, and he's got a sort of water crossbow. Sort of fires this sort of drill-like arrowhead, but it's got water behind it, sort of like a water projectile. But this guy looks interesting, nice purple sort of bird. And I believe this guy could probably be captured, I think it's chapter 12, but I don't know what the name is. I think it's like Time Town, something like that, but it's got Wolfgang in it as well. So chapter 12 is when Wolfgang will be able to be captured. It could be 11. I'm guaranteeing I think it's 12, but it could be 11. Bruiser Cruiser there. This guy looks awesome. It almost looks like whether you've ever seen the film Avatar, but it looks as if you sort of get in one of those mechanized suits, put the gloves on, and you can sort of like control him around. He's got the sort of knuckle dusters there, like eye brawl. I like how the little shoulder pads almost make it look like ears on this little guy. And I like, sorry, not little, he's pretty big, but there's that troll in there. But I'm liking the look of this guy. Can't wait to see him a bit up close, facing him. But there we go. Moving on. Now, here we go. Let's talk about this game mode now. So you'll be able to see a big floating Chaos head and what looks like a graveyard. Now, basically, this is what is being called the Chaos Challenge mode. I believe that's what it's called. And basically, you're facing against waves of enemies. So, at first, you probably might be just against maybe, I don't know, a maximum of 10 chompies maybe on the first level. Once you've got rid of them, it's on to the next wave. And it continuously keeps going and going and going. And it'll ramp up the enemies, ramp up the hardness of all the levels. But apparently there's going to be 100 levels. Now you're probably wondering, well, hold on, what happens if I get to like level 50? You know, what will happen if I exit the game? There's different save points, so from like level 1 to 5, and then 5 to 10, and then it keeps going up in 10, so 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then when you get up to like the 80s, I think has been said that it sort of slows down a bit, so it's like 80 to 83, 84 to 86 sort of thing. So if you were to do that, then you can sort of like stop, have tea, or have a drink, or go out somewhere, or whatever, and then come back and face Kaos. But what also is very interesting that we saw earlier was those cannons. Now, on the actual map, now I don't know if this is going to show it off, it does slightly. You'll be seeing that sort of electric sort of cannon there, and on the other side there's like a sort of plain area. Now basically what's going to happen is that you're going to have about 4 different ones, and it's going to actually bring into play possibly your giants and your swap force in order to actually get these cannons to work. So you have to, for example, I think that cannon, looking at it, might be air, for example. It looks air, possibly tech, one of the two. Yeah, seeing as it's jetvac over there, I'm guessing it's probably air. But you have to get the air character onto the air symbol, press a button, and then it spawns this this turret, and you're allowed 4 of them. And basically the whole point in these turrets is to help you, especially in the later levels, in defending off these enemies. Now, they also upgrade. You'll be able to see on that turret a few stars. Now, there's 3 different levels, so they sort of just level up and become a little bit more advanced. So, I believe, looking at one of them, it was like a skull. I mean, the undead. It's sort of 2 hands that come out of the ground holding what looks like an energy orb or some sort of floating skull. But as they level up, they get taller and taller. But also, you're able to, once you've thrown the skull, they sort of slap on the ground, slap the enemies and all that sort of stuff, and help destroy them for you. Now, you're probably wondering, well, hold on, what's the whole point in this thing? You're protecting a box. Now, this box is like the ultimate doom. As soon as these enemies can get to there and start smacking it, it's got a little life bar. As soon as that goes down to 0, that's it. You have unleashed chaos. And I'm not talking the K, I'm talking the CH of chaos. You'll get a giant villain. So, for example, the ones I've seen, I think it was they're calling them kings. Now, whether you'll get a queen version of a female villain is another thing. But it's a king troll, so it's one of those trolls with a massive spoon, but it's bigger, and it'll have a lot of health, and I mean a ton of health. And it's going to be a very difficult mode, especially when it gets to like level 100, and possibly you unleash Wolfgang, maybe, I don't know, and it's a massive wolf, and then you've got to try and take him down whilst getting shot with musical notes. But pretty cool. So, just want to move on from that. I mean, it is an awesome game mode, but apparently there is not going to be any PvP, which is basically player versus player, if you don't already know what that is. But it is kind of disappointing for a lot of people, but it won't stop, many people from buying the game. I don't think PvP is the most important part, but it does play a big role in people's enjoyment in the series, being able to face off against your friends and all that. But yeah, pretty awesome. And also I know that Brock's Arena is back as well. There was a little menu screen, and you can sort of scroll through this through Kaos Mode, Brock's challenges, and then there's also the chapter selection screen thing. But there we go. So let's move on to something else, which is just a load of different traps. Just wanted to show you all of these off because they're pretty interesting. We got, I think, possibly all of the traps we're going to be seeing. So here we go. The air jughead, the air snake, the air sword, the air toucan, the air, that's not air, that's earth, the earth hammer, the earth orb, the earth totem, the earth toucan, the fire scepter, the fire torch, the fire totem, the fire yawn. This guy is awesome. He almost looks like a tear, but he's got all like 6 little flimsy arms and all that sort of stuff. The life hammer, the life snake, the life sword, the life torch, the magic axe, magic loghead, Magic Rocket, the only one possibly to have been shown yet. Whether it'll get a second version in another element is another thing. The Magic Skull. The Tech Angel. The Tech Floating Knight, I believe that is. The Tech Hand. Tech Scepter. The Undead Axe. Undead Hand. Wow. Undead Orb. And Undead Skull. You got the Water Angel. Water Axe. Water Floating Knight. And Water Jughead. So yeah, look at all of these. I mean, you've got a big range of different sorts. Well, I mean, this is the invisible trap, by the way. This is the Trap d'Invisible. It's French. I'm joking. But you got a load of different traps here. Loads of different designs. But obviously, you know, as well as I know, that each element, most of them, have 6 different trappable enemies, which means that some of these... for example, I'd be thinking that... I think it's Life. Life has got probably about 6. And there's only 4 here. But you've got 4 different things here. Now, whether that one gets done again is a possibility. But it looks pretty interesting having a rocket trap. And I actually quite like the sword trap as well, because it sort of means the trap end that you put into the portal is the actual like dagger end. But and the snake, it looks awesome as well. But these have got some real awesome... I mean, they just really look like lollipops. I mean, could you imagine these as lollipops? They'd be awesome. Like, you've got apple flavour, strawberry flavour, caramel, maybe? Blueberry. What else could you have? Blackberry, maybe? Oh, goodness. Vanilla. We'll go with vanilla for that one. Chocolate, maybe. Or maybe chocolate for the earth one. And then something blue. Something blue. A blueberry muffin flavour, I don't know. Something like that. But have a look at all of these traps. I mean, they just look awesome. I really like that one. That one looks really cool. Totem's quite new as well. Now, whether they bring them in or not, but there's also... there's a sort of hourglass, I believe that was one of them, and there was another one which doesn't look like it's being used here, but whether they are actually going to be used, but there's a massive amount of these. Look at all of them. Just amazing, just really cool. But there we go, guys, so that is the update for today. A lot of interesting news, a lot of traps shown. Not a lot of news on pre-orders and stuff like that. I'm still looking as much as I can for Europe, for UK and America, but I haven't found anything yet. If you'd like to let me know down below if you've been able to find any pre-orders for characters, maybe. Possibly for America, I'd say. But, you know, that's up to you. But, yeah, this looks pretty cool. I can't wait to get all these traps, really, and just have them in hand and sort of just fiddle around with them and just see all the detailing on them, because they just look amazing. This one's pretty cool. The Angel. Nice. But there we go. So if you have enjoyed this update video, you can subscribe to the channel. Because as you know, there will be gameplay of this game coming out. I won't just be leaving you with the news. I'm going to be giving you gameplay as well. Yeah, that'll be coming out. But I will be doing a separate video talking about that and what I'm going to be doing, as well as an announcement if you haven't already heard about that. It probably will be, I'd say, a week before Trap Team comes out, so probably on the 4th. Yeah, let's set a date for the 4th, and that will be my recording news. So, there we go. Now, hopefully by then, I'll have probably got the news up to 30, because hopefully there'll be some more interesting news at the end of the week, or possibly start next week. But there we go. Comment down below, what did I say about... What's your favourite trap, actually, and also about the real life characters. You know, let me know if you really want to become a TV screen and walk around and change the channels and blind an enemy or something like that. And you can also rate the videos so I know you're enjoying these news updates. As always, it's been a privilege to be able to make these. I'm glad all of you really enjoy them. And guys, I will see you in the next news update or video which comes out on the channel. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then, and goodbye.